Mike, I had my 2-year-old son with me. He couldn't sleep, so I sat him next to me on the recliner and I'm teaching him basketball.
That's right.
And what better way to do it than with the San Antonio Spurs?
There you go. Wonderful teaching opportunities.
The way they spread the court out and the give and goes and the back doors and Parker sometimes passes the ball and he gets it back right away, and it just moved him enough to put him in a better position to either pass to a teammate or to score.
Right.
And he's the number one guy, the number one option on this team. And Tim Duncan knows that and says he carries us at times. And these guys are in the championship now, and they get a rest. Hopefully, it's not too long of a rest because they swept Memphis. But it wasn't like they were that much better than Memphis. They just played. They executed their plays better. There was 2 overtime games in this series. It was a good series. Memphis is not a bad team. I hope they don't destroy and rip apart the team with the coach and everything. Like you hear, they have a new owner and there's rumors that could happen.
Right.
Lionel
Hollins
could be crazy. The Spurs with Parker and Ginobili and Splitter and Boris Diaw. I haven't even mentioned Tim Duncan.
He's pretty good.
These guys were just developed. And Diaw came in, used to be with Phoenix, and you didn't think he was that good of a passer before, but he actually looks to pass before he shoots. Fundamentally sound basketball, and it's refreshing to see.
They've been to the conference finals or better 8 times in the last 15 years. If you count the strike-shortened season where they were like 37-13, where they were on a pace to win 50 games. If you count that as a 50-win season, they've won 50 or more 19 of the last 20 years, even going back before Popovich. So it's just amazing what they've been able to do. I think it's the best organization in sports. And here's an interesting thing. This will tell you a little something about the NBA in addition to everything else. Parker, Ginobili, and Duncan, that threesome is going to the finals for the 4th time. It's the first time, other than the Celtics and the Lakers, that any trio like that has been to the finals 4 times.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, when you think about the Sixers weren't able to do it. They had Moses and Doc. And,
the finals. It's got to be the finals.
Right.
So that makes it a little deceptive. But yeah, it's just it's not easy to do what they've done. It's not easy to do what they've done.
And if it wasn't for Dave Robinson getting a back injury the one year, missing all those games, and they weren't the worst record that year. Rick Pitino took the job with the Celtics, figuring they were going to get Tim Duncan, but the Spurs get Tim Duncan.
That's the 19th. That's the 1 out of 20. It was when David Robinson got hurt.
Out. Yeah, and they fire Hill as the coach, and Popovich was the GM.
And that was the beginning of Popovich.
Too arrogant coming down. Who are you? And then. What a great coach! And it's scary what he comes up with and does out there at times. And there's the depth they have. I think Jeff Van Gundy is probably one of the best commentators in basketball right now.
Yeah, he's great.
And he made a comment that DeJuan Blair, who's out of Western PA, he used to be a starter with the Spurs and saw quality minutes as a bench player. Doesn't get in games now, and he would be one of the first starters off of Memphis's bench. It's true, and the depth they have and the guard play But guys they have like Leonard and
Shai Leonard,
there's a Jeff Green they got from Carolina. These guys they must have coaches, and credit to them, that just work in the gym with these guys, shoot because when they pass them, it's part of the
Danny
set
Green
offense.
has become a great 3-point shooter, and so has Leonard. That's right. And but I think the more pressing thing here is can they beat Miami in the finals? And I think maybe they can. I think it's although we would not have although some people may not have thought of this as an epic final matchup at the beginning of the playoffs, I think most everybody is looking forward to it now. This notion that the Spurs are boring is get a clue, people. Yeah. For God's sake, wake up and smell the coffee. I don't even think that's a common perception anymore. I
disagree. I just had the talk radio on the drive in here, and I heard people go, "Oh yeah, well it's the Spurs," and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" And it's what they don't have as many tattoos, or they don't dunk as much, or what is it? They're not the ESPN highlights,
and they have plenty of tattoos. Tattoos are not a problem.
But it's just that they play the game the right way, and I think this is you talk about dominance. If they can win a 4th title here in a 14-year span and what they've been able to do. And I was rooting for Memphis at the beginning of the series because I thought they had the best chance to really give Miami a run for their money. I wanted to see a good series. Yeah. But then to watch what San Antonio did and how they executed changed me. And I think, and they play defense. That's another thing. Yeah. They play defense.
Although I don't think they're quite as good at defensively as they were at their peak a number of years ago, but they're still good. And
I think there are ways that they can defend, and they have enough big guys. And maybe Blair gets into the series to take the one weakness that Miami has is they don't have the big low post guys. And I think that Will that be enough? We'll see. Indiana's giving Miami a run for the money right now, although I think Miami's waking up now in that series.
Yeah, I think Miami's going to win that series, but Indiana's good. Indiana's a very good team. They have some holes, they have some weaknesses, but they're a very good team, and they're a good test. And I think Miami's going to be ready. But I think the Spurs can win that series.
Don't
I really
count
do.
the Spurs out.
Absolutely.